Have you ever wondered what would happen if Quentin Tarantino rewrote World War II? Well, wonder no more, because today we're diving headfirst into the audacious, brutal, and brilliantly twisted world of Inglourious Basterds. Released in 2009, this isn't your typical war movie. It's a stylish, dialogue-driven masterpiece that throws historical accuracy out the window in favor of pure, unadulterated cinematic revenge. So grab your popcorn because we're about to unpack this modern classic, chapter by chapter. The film opens in occupied France with Chapter 1, Once Upon a Time in Nazi-Occupied France. We're introduced to one of cinema's most unforgettable villains, Colonel Hans Landa, the Jew hunter. He arrives at a remote dairy farm, and what follows is a masterclass in tension. Landa, played by the incredible Christoph Waltz, is polite, charming, and utterly terrifying. He sits down with the farmer, Père Lapidite, and through a conversation that starts with a glass of milk and ends in pure dread, he methodically extracts a confession. Lapidite is hiding a Jewish family, the Dreyfuses, under his floorboards. In a gut-wrenching sequence, Landa orders his soldiers to fire through the floor, killing the entire family except for one. A young woman, Shosanna Dreyfus, escapes and runs for her life. Landa watches her go, raises his pistol but decides not to shoot. Au revoir, Shosanna. He calls out, a chilling promise that their paths will cross again. This scene perfectly sets the tone. It's brutal, tense, and driven by Landa's unnerving intellect. Next, Chapter 2, Inglourious Basterds introduces us to the titular group. We meet Lieutenant Aldo Raine, a tough-as-nails officer from Tennessee, played by Brad Pitt. He's assembling a special unit of 8 Jewish-American soldiers to operate behind enemy lines. Their mission? Not to take prisoners, but to instill terror in the Nazi ranks. Aldo's opening speech is iconic. He tells his men they owe him a debt, 100 Nazi scalps, each, and they deliver. The Basterds, as they become known, are a force of pure, savage retribution. We see them ambushing German patrols, beating soldiers with baseball bats, courtesy of Sergeant Donny Donowitz, the Bear Jew, and, of course, collecting their scalps. For the few they let live, they carve a swastika into their foreheads with a bowie knife, a permanent mark of their shame. This chapter establishes the Basterds as a legendary, almost mythical force, a boogeyman for the Third Reich. Now we jump to Chapter 3, German Night in Paris. Years have passed since the opening scene. We find Shosanna Dreyfus living in Paris under a new identity, Emmanuelle Mimieux. She owns and operates a cinema. Her life is quiet until she catches the eye of a young German war hero, Friedrich Zoller. Zoller is the star of a new Nazi propaganda film called Nation's Pride, which reenacts his heroic feat of killing hundreds of Allied soldiers from a sniper's nest. He's instantly infatuated with Shosanna and relentlessly pursues her. His persistence leads him to a fateful suggestion. Why not hold the premiere of his film at her cinema? This would mean the entire Nazi high command, including Hitler, Goebbels, and Göring, would be in attendance. Shosanna initially refuses, but when she's forced to meet Joseph Goebbels, the Minister of Propaganda, she sees an opportunity. An opportunity for revenge. While Shosanna is plotting her fiery vengeance, the British High Command is hatching their own plan in Chapter 4, Operation Kino. They learn about the premiere and see it as a golden opportunity to decapitate the Nazi leadership in one fell swoop. They recruit a film critic, Lieutenant Archie Hecox, to go undercover and link up with the Basterds and a German actress turned Allied spy, Brigitte von Hammersmark. The plan is to plant explosives in the cinema and blow the whole place to smithereens. The rendezvous point is a basement tavern called La Louisiane. And this is where things go horribly, horribly wrong. The scene is another Tarantino masterclass in suspense. What should be a simple meeting turns into a deadly standoff when a suspicious Gestapo major notices Hecox's strange German accent and an even stranger hand gesture. A tense Mexican standoff ensues, erupting into a bloody firefight that leaves almost everyone dead, except for Brigitte von Hammersmark, who is shot in the leg, and Aldo Raine, who is waiting outside. Their primary plan is now in ruins. This leads us to the grand finale, Chapter 5, Revenge of the Giant Face. Despite the botched tavern meeting, the mission is still on. Aldo, Donny, and another bastard, Omar, decide to attend the premiere themselves, posing as Italian filmmakers accompanying Brigitte von Hammersmark. This leads to some hilarious moments, especially with their laughably bad Italian accents. Meanwhile, Shosanna and her lover and projectionist, Marcel, are preparing their own plan. They've spliced a special message into the film reel and have gathered hundreds of highly flammable nitrate film prints to turn the cinema into a giant incinerator. At the premiere, everything converges. Aldo Raine comes face to face with his nemesis, Hans Landa, who quickly sees through their disguises. Landa, ever the opportunist, doesn't arrest them immediately. Instead, he captures Aldo and another bastard and strikes a deal. He'll let the assassination proceed in exchange for a full pardon, American citizenship, and a quiet retirement on Nantucket Island. The Allied command, unbelievably, agrees. Inside the theater, Zoller, still obsessed with Shosanna, confronts her in the projection booth. She shoots him. As he lies dying, he manages to shoot and kill her as well. But Shosanna's revenge lives on. Her pre-recorded message flickers onto the screen. Her giant face fills the frame, taunting the trapped Nazi audience. This is the face of Jewish vengeance. As the screen ignites, Marcel locks the doors and sets the pile of nitrate film ablaze behind the screen. The cinema becomes a raging inferno. For good measure, Donnie the Bear Jew and Omar burst into Hitler's private box and riddle him in Goebbels with machine gun fire, rewriting history in a blaze of glory. The bastards have won. The Nazi high command is annihilated. As for Landa, he surrenders to Aldo as planned. He gets his deal, his papers, and his freedom. But Aldo Raine has one last piece of business. He's a man of his word, but he's also a man of principle. He tells Landa that when he gets to Nantucket, he's going to take off his SS uniform. Aldo can't have that. He orders his man to hold Landa down, pulls out his knife, and carves a swastika into Landa's forehead. "You know something, Yutovich?" Aldo says with a satisfied grin. "I think this just might be my masterpiece." And with that final defiant act of branding, the film ends. Inglourious Basterds is more than just a war movie. It's a fairy tale about the power of cinema itself. It's a film where film becomes the ultimate weapon. Shosanna uses it for her fiery revenge, Goebbels uses it for propaganda, and Tarantino uses it to give us the cathartic, history-defying ending we never got. It's a violent, verbose, and visionary piece of filmmaking that remains one of Tarantino's most celebrated works. So what do you think? Is this Tarantino's masterpiece? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more movie breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.